true thoughts, I do genuinely hope that this works out. Not just, you know, so I can keep creating content, but because, you know, Beat League was something that I always really enjoyed, despite the bad times. I loved the idea of the series, and I was always disappointed that it blew up in the way that it did. So if I can bring it back in any way, even if it's in a nerfed state, Shades Fortuna, thank you for that sub. Even if it's in a nerfed state, I think that I'd be cool with that. Well, the over editing was the fun part for me. What was the issue was the obsession with every single video being a banger. Let me tell you a story, chat. Some of you might have already known this story because you might have seen my comment on the April Fool's video that I made this year. Okay? But allow me to tell the tale of the real story behind the Heimerdinger video. Because it's not quite what you might expect. Let's take a little trip down memory lane. We gotta go all the way back to the Annie video. Alright? Now, as you can see here, the Annie video was released 7 years ago. My god, 7 fucking years. Shut up! 7 years. This was released on September 7th. And this video, obviously, one of the best videos I ever made. One of my favorite videos that I ever made. This video was so much fun for me, chat. Like, I know a lot of people probably think that the Annie video is like a bad memory for me, but to be honest, if a champion results in a video this fun to make, then I am a-okay with the games. Okay, you want to know what I think about when I think of the Annie video? I don't think about how bored I was playing this fucking boring ass champion. I don't think about all this stupid ass the auto attack shit, right? I don't think about this. Another one. I don't think about that. All right? What I think about is this bit right here. So you see how I posted all of these I printed out all the splash shots and I wrote "save me" across the mirror. You might not even be able to see it, but it says "save me" on the mirror. Okay? Here's the thing. I recorded this on a day that my friends were coming over to hang out. Alright? But I did not tell them what was in the bathroom. Okay? So, you know, we're hanging out for like 10 hours straight. At some point, someone's gonna have to take a piss. And so, the first time someone fucking walked in, I can't remember who it was, but they just fucking walked into the bathroom, turned on the light, and then they see this fucking monstrosity. Oh god, that's the kind of shit I think about when I think about the Annie video, okay? It was so fucking funny. We all laughed our fucking asses off, bro. Like, I was bored of shit playing the game, but making this video, this is genuinely, to this day, one of my favorite videos I ever made. So much fun. I had so much fucking fun making this video, dude. Like, if every video turned out like this, then there would have never been an issue. The problem is, I really wanted every video to turn out like this. And that's where the problem started to rise, okay? So, that video came out September 7th, right? Shortly after that, oh, would you look at that? A bunch of skins. This is several skins that had to release. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but by this point in the series, each patch was releasing with a bunch of skins that I had to go back and do. Okay? So, the champion I drew here was Alistar. And remember, this video came out at the beginning of September. Alistar wouldn't come out until, I think, December, but we'll get there. So I have to take a pit stop here first. Okay? I take a little pit stop and I have to do this fucking champion. And I can't remember which video it was, but around this time, I made a new rule as well, where when a new champion came out, I was also going to beat them immediately rather than putting their name in the bag. This, logically speaking, this made sense because, you know, it's a new champion, so obviously I figure, you know, it'll probably show up in the algorithm better. So, good intentions, but it's going to backfire eventually. So, here we are. When did this come out? When did this come out? October. A month later, this comes out. That came out in October. The next Beat League episode didn't come out until, I believe, December. So September to October to December. Okay? Because by this point, I'm really slowing down. I'm really slowing down on the Beat League production because, fun fact, whenever my friends came over to play this game, to record Beat League, we did it in one sitting. So it's not like we are playing throughout the week, spaced out or anything. They show up at like 2, and we play Beat League for like 8 hours straight, okay? At least that's how it was at first. By this point, we started slowing down because earlier in the year, I realized that my friends were getting really burnt out. So I started somewhere around, I think the Ergot video is when I started recording like some of the games by myself, and that was the reason why, because I could tell my friends were like right here. I could tell my friends were really starting to hate it. So I was like, all right, let's tone it back. We'll only play for like 3 or 4 hours, and then the other half of the night we can just do whatever. So that meant that obviously it's taking longer to get these videos out because it's taking longer for us to beat the champion before I can even start making the video. But yeah, this comes out December 3rd, and in this video I draw Heimerdinger. I draw Heimerdinger here again in December 3rd. Remember that. Beginning of December, I draw Heimerdinger. Would you look at that? My new rule, Camille comes out. So I gotta beat her by my new rule. This comes out at the beginning of January, middle of January, right? Now, this is largely because I was already working on Heimerdinger, but I'm also needing to do this video. So we do that. Then, oh, would you look at that? 5 new fucking skins. 5 new skins, dude. February 9th. Okay, the following month. This, by the way, is the game, is the video with Uninstall Harvey. So, somewhere in here. It's somewhere in here. Right? There you go, yep. There you go. Right? So that's February. Again, I drew Heimerdinger at the beginning of December. We're already in February. And let me just tell you, people are really starting to get impatient. People are getting impatient. Where's Heimerdinger? Where's Heimerdinger? And not only that, there's a growing expectation that because Heimerdinger is taking so long, and it's a slower mobile mage, that, oh man, Trin's probably struggling with this champion. Oh, this video is gonna be a banger. I'm seeing all of this. And then as you see, Heimerdinger doesn't come out until all the way, the first video doesn't come out all the way until March 30th. But of course, Heimerdinger's a 2-parter, right? You get the first video on March 30th, and then the second video all the way in April 1st. Now, here's the thing. Because this video took so long to come out, by the beginning of, again, like I think this video was February, right? By the time I was finished with all of this stuff and I was getting ready to sit down and work on the Heimerdinger video, it had already been like 2 or 3 months since I drew him, and so I knew people were expecting a lot. And so at the beginning of March, I distinctly remember this. At the beginning of March is when I start actually working on the video. Okay? At the beginning of March. Remember that. There's just one problem. The footage sucks. To be blunt, the footage in this video is fucking trash. My friends and I, we were having such a bad time. This was just not fun. This footage isn't very funny. We were bitching the whole time. It's just not very good. And if you've ever edited any content, you would know that there's only so much you can do with shitty footage. But unfortunately, my toxic trait is that every single video has to be a banger. Okay? It has to be the best version of itself that it can possibly be. There is absolutely, I am not allowing it. Having a bad video is not allowed. Okay? It's not allowed. It's illegal. But for this video, that is easier said than done. So what ends up happening, I start editing the video, and about a week into it, I'm like, damn, this is trash. And so I delete the whole thing and I start it over. I work on it again from scratch. Another week goes by. Damn, this is trash. Not good enough. This has to be a banger. They're waiting for it. They're like, these people are like banging their fists on the table. And by the way, remember, I'm still having people like when I'm making all these other content, all these other videos, right? I remember there were several comments like, "Where's Heimerdinger?" Right? Like getting real impatient. So imagine seeing that when I'm like stressing myself the fuck out, trying to make this shit perfect. And I'm like, oh god, dude, it has to be good. It has to be worth the wait. Right? Mediocrity was not an option. But another week goes by and it was trash, so I deleted it. And so this goes on for a couple more times. Right? And eventually I go back to the drawing board and I'm like, all right, what if, you know, keep in mind this is like shortly after Uninstall Harvey. This was also after the this video, which had the Kennen song and of course this song, right? So I think right there I did this, my Yasuo and me. So around this time I was kind of doing some song parodies, right? So I thought to myself, okay, what if instead of trying to hide the fact that I'm having a bad time, what if I lean into it and I build towards a song parody, right? So that's the concept for this video that you see on the channel today. That's why I'm like wearing the, I'm wearing the hoodie and I'm like acting all tilted and shit, right? That's why I got all this shit in here, because it was all with the intention of it building up towards a song parody, except that song parody is not the one that you know of today. The song parody was originally going to be Numb by Linkin Park. The idea was that it was going to be a very, a very melodramatic kind of like raindrops on the window kind of song, and it was going to be obviously very like tongue-in-cheek. Obviously, that's the intention. And I had an instrumental cover made and everything. Everything was ready to go. But the way that I write my song parodies is that obviously I take the actual lyrics and I just tweak them to fit whatever I'm going for. And so I was writing the lyrics for Numb, and if you know the song, you know that the singer is like basically singing to someone. So like, if you think about the lyrics, what were they again? Fuck, it's been so long since I listened to Linkin Park. That shit used to be my jam in high school. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. I've become so tired, so much more awake or something. I'm becoming this, don't know what to do, something you, right? Like basically, long story short, it sounded like the song parody that I was writing sounded like I was blaming you guys for my suffering. Okay? Be more like me and less like you. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Damn, that was a good song. I should listen to some Linkin Park at some point. It sounded like I was blaming you for my suffering. And of course, this video is very negative. This video is very negative. And I was worried that people were going to take it the wrong way. And take it in that way of, oh, like making them... Basically, I was worried that people were going to feel bad about watching Beat League. And obviously that is the last thing I want. I actually think there was a comment here. It was one of the most top voted comments. Yeah, this one. I think it was this one. Maybe. Yes, it was this one, right? It was this one. I know you probably won't see this, but I just wanted to give some feedback on the video. I'm not gonna lie and say that I only like to see your video when you are having fun and enjoying yourself. The Annie video is a perfect example of how reflecting upon unfun gameplay can be fantastic entertainment. I believe Annie was one of your best made videos. This one felt different. One of the big things is not that you were just salty or despairing, as that has been the basis of some amazing videos from you. I think the problem was that it became too much. Okay? I don't want to see you spiral into a pit and stay there. Okay? Now, by the way, I know a lot of people share this sentiment, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. But obviously, this is what I was worried about. Because obviously, the salt in this video was by design. But it had a purpose. It always had a purpose. And that was to build up towards the melodramatic. But towards the end, as I was writing this song, okay, I realized that I went too far with the tilty shit. And you gotta remember, this is like 3.5 weeks. I am almost done with this video. The video is almost like I have it edited up to probably about here. I have the video edited to about this point in the video, okay? Somewhere around here. This is how much of the video was already edited at this point when I was writing the lyrics. And keep in mind, again, I'm working on this video for like 3 weeks. I'm thinking it has to be perfect. And now I'm realizing, oh my fucking god, the concept for this video is flawed. And I might have to delete this entire thing and start over from scratch again. Now, despair gets thrown around a lot. But this was the moment where I truly, actually felt like it actually fit. I was so beyond miserable, chat. Like, I was like legit broken. I was fucking like actually depressed broken. It was bad. But thankfully, instead of immediately deleting it, I took a step away, listened to some music to clear my head. And around this time is when I started listening to some of the We Are Number One parodies. And I realized that, wait a minute, April Fool's is in like 2 days. I could release this video as is, end it on a cliffhanger, and then salvage it by doing a We Are Number One parody. And that's exactly what I did. So this was a last minute swerve. The original, I actually, the April Fool's video that I did this year with the Rickroll thing, that was actually the video that I wanted to release this year on April Fool's. But obviously, that didn't happen because I was working on this for the entire fucking month, so it was not possible. But I was still able to, thankfully, use April Fool's as the opportunity. But yeah, thankfully I was able to salvage it. But guess what, chat? This came out in February. This came out in end of March, early April. And guess what? In that time, a bunch of other skins, and also, what the dumb fuck? For the first time ever, they made they released not one, but 2 champions at the same time. So I had to do that, and also like 5 other skins. So that's like 9 skins that I had to immediately do. I couldn't even take a break after doing this. I had to go right into the next shit. And then of course, I did Braum, and then I by this point, working on these 2 videos, I realized, bro, I'm so fucking done with this. I'm so done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. And then unfortunately, my stupid ass thought up this fucking dumb fuck idea of season 3, which was supposed to be this Hail Mary, you know, thing to completely change the scope of the series into something much bigger. And we all know how that turned out. But yeah, that's the backstory on Heimerdinger. So while I have fond memories of Annie, very fond memories of Annie, Heimerdinger is the one that was actually miserable. Okay? And it's because of the process it took to actually make that video. Obviously don't wanna go into that again. And that's why I'm gonna be approaching this with a much different mindset. I can't be obsessing over every single video being a banger. That's just unrealistic. If I have the ability to make something like the Annie video, I absolutely will, but only when the situation calls for it. If not, then fuck it. It'll just be an average video, and then we're just gonna move on. All right? This is consistent content. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this test run. That's why we're doing the changes that I'm doing. It cannot be the same. It really cannot be the same, because I don't want to be in a situation like that again. Davion, thank you for that Prime. I don't want to be in that situation again where I'm like completely fucking burning myself out to that degree. That I can't do that again. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't think any of us want that. So that's why we're doing this test run, and if things work out, we will have a much healthier Beat League. If it works out.